Well then, small towns. This one has the potential to either enlighten the mind to many great truths or offend many people. I do try to exercise a high degree of self awareness with the understanding that I could be wrong from time to time. So, that being said, I think it's best for the sake of coming to a mutual understanding for each other, you exercise open mindedness and self awareness for everyone's sake. Now, small towns have always played quite a major role in the construction of this country. Small towns were usually established with some purpose, whether it be coal mining or logging or freight trade, construction, farming, or even a simple escape from one person or a group of people who didn't quite fit into the last town. For example, Boulder City, Nevada is a town that was built with a specific purpose, and this little town was built in 1931 by the Bureau of Reclamation, and it was named after the canyon it resides by, Boulder Canyon. Its sole purpose was to house the construction workers who brought the Hoover Dam to life. Now it's a historically preserved town and a destination spot for many visitors from across the nation. There's thousands of small towns scattered across the United States with different backstories and different origins, but they all seem to share the same psychological stereotype that's considered to be toxic in nature by these modern times. The small town lifestyle seems to be the same old boring drag strip on the square just about every weekend. One generation replaced by the next. Nothing changes, nothing moves forward. And you have to wonder what the average zeitgeist is in those towns. I personally grew up on a small gravel road outside of any town, so that gave me a lot of freedom to get in touch with nature a little better. And I went to school in a small town, and when I left, I moved from small town to small town. And I must say, from experience, the higher the population was in these small towns, the higher the people were, either on a religious pedestal or on some opioid. Now, I had friends who also had younger friends, so it was quite common for an adult to frequently come in contact with a group of students who currently still attended high school. And this comes with the benefit of getting to know the inner workings of their social structure the, the younger generations have built for themselves. And I can say without a shred of doubt, it's not good, nor is it healthy. I have another video about why public schools have failed us all, and this video further perpetuates that fact. Now, the social structure in school these days seems to have a similar structure from my generation and the previous generations. And we called them cliques, a group of friends who clicked up. They shared a like minded view of the world, and because of this, we sort of stuck together and formed a little group. These days, I wouldn't dare go as far as to call these groups cliques. That would be a disrespectful term to the previous generation. I would, however, be bold enough to describe this new social structure as gangs, varying degrees of violence, of course, though gangs nonetheless. The structure is evident to the fact that as the generations of cliques grew more intolerant of the authority figures before them, their rebelliousness had increased with viciousness and vulgarity. And as this pattern of behavior was left unresolved, their conduct became more of the social norm, and they inevitably became victims of similar conduct by the hand of a rival gang member. This results in absolute violence and chaos that I have seen time and time again, and it has left a generation completely vulnerable to the nastier side of the human cognitive faculties. This game, Telephone, was used in school to demonstrate the effects that rumors can have on a person, and the school, to their best efforts, not only failed miserably, but even gave us a name to reference the nature of spreading rumors. This is also the consequence in living in a small town. Nobody seems to have the respect to go about their own uh, business. However, That being said, it's still a small town. It's necessary to know the people with whom you're surrounded by. You send your child to the same school that another person sends their child to, so it'd be necessary to know which apple is influencing your child and what kind of tree did this apple fall from, because the bad apple spoils the bunch. I can only imagine spreading rumors was at one point in time a necessary survival tactic, but at this point in this modern time, I don't think anyone really knows why they do it anymore, other than to perhaps make themselves look better in comparison. But I have other theories. Of course, this will always start a conflict. In these days, it usually ends in blood or some twisted manipulative scheme that results in humiliation. But why does the initial rumor start to begin with? Well, it starts with one of two ways. One person legitimately did something illegal, immoral, or socially wrong, or you were told a false story as means of getting revenge on the person of topic in an attempt to destroy their reputation, which is by far more cruel than confronting this person with a physical alteration. Perpetuating a false rumor could be an act that could destroy their reputation, which is the only survival mechanism most people have to rely on in a small town. It's like taking their food away completely. Maintaining a concrete reputation is detrimental to the survival of an entire family structure. If a lie is spread about a business owner, for example, no one will want to do business with them anymore, and this could destroy their business entirely, and it could end their mortgage payments. And because this town already believes these rumors, no landlord will want to rent their homes out to them in fear of a potential misdeed being done. And now there's another struggling family in this world with children who will grow up to hate society that placed this burden on them, and nothing good comes out of hate. On the other hand, if rumors become known for their fictitious nature, the truth will never be made known to the public, and a crime will happen and it could have been prevented. Perhaps a rumored serial killer just moved into town, but because rumors are commonly known to be a lie, an entire host of innocent people are now being tortured and murdered because no one has the decency to pick and choose between right and wrong. The difference between right and wrong has always been debatable amongst philosophers, but I say it depends on whether or not someone has gotten hurt as a result of your own cruel intentions or ignorant negligence. So, church should stay between the followers as to not make the rest of the followers look bad by justifying your ignorant conduct by your misguided practices. The law should stay in the public, so we can leave it up to the public to debate that later. Anything else is a lie that belongs nowhere in society. This country is living in dark times now, and if we want it to get any better, we have to take action on our own and not rely on the government to do it for us. They're there for the paperwork. The children of this world are the future, and to keep this from happening more and to keep it from getting any worse, I would recommend removing your child from public school and away from the corruption that you're exposing them to, and give them a good education at home. If you believe public schools can provide a better education than a parent can, then your particular child probably will get a better education in a public school. These kids will one day be future politicians and lawmakers of this country, so it is imperative that we guide them towards the Oval Office with love in their hearts. We can build a world that embraces love for one another, but I believe that journey starts at home with you. To make the world a better home, we must first make our home a better world. So seek wisdom from somewhere, learn what love really is, and apply it every day, every chance you get.